Yeah. Another topic I wanted to go on again was Thomas Partey. This guy is incredible. Incredible. Unbelievable, man. Think about the game against Bournemouth, where he obviously made a mistake for their second goal. Straight away picked up from there, got the header for the first goal, and the second goal. If you look at the sequence to the second goal, the way he picked up the ball, fake shot, found Nelson in the wide area, then he crossed it for Ben White. For me, man, the guy is just unbelievable, man. His presence on the pitch is like you can see the difference. You know what I mean? He's not just like he's not just your regular defensive mid. You know, he's a complete midfielder, someone who like takes control of the game. It's like when he's on the pitch, it's not just the fact that what he can do defensively or what he doesn't build up. It's just his presence on the pitch, constantly asking for the ball, demanding the ball, driving the team forward. You can tell what we're trying to do on the pitch just by looking at him. Because you know that if we're trying to defend, you see what he's doing. If we're trying to attack, you see him in the final third, receiving back to goal, finding players, creating situations. He's just an all-round unbelievable player. He's not just a defensive midfielder, he's a complete midfielder. I think for me, probably he's the best midfielder in the league this season. And what he was he called reminds me of is when you think, I said this on Twitter as well, when you think about the way the likes of Vieira, Keane, Gerrard, Yaya Toure, Kante, like the way these guys were dominating, what's it called? Dominating games, like carrying their team on their back. Like you think about Chelsea, for example, like a lot. You need to remember, it's not just about like there's certain impacts you can have on a team, and you feel the impact. You think about Kante, for example, for how he used to do it for Chelsea, whereby you have a game where like a big game, for example, and Kante would completely dominate the game, not just with distribution, whatever, but just the fact that the teams couldn't play in the midfield. Like the teams just couldn't survive in the midfield with him because every time they had the ball in the midfield and they were trying to do something, he's winning the ball off them, pressing them, getting the ball back, and then once he gets the ball back, he's just bypassing players, carrying the ball, dribbling, getting into the final third. Just bypassing players, carrying the ball there and finding players in between lines. That's something that's crucial about Partey in what he's really doing, and it's just like you see in the game here in the way we play, and what I feel like he's so significant and pretty much like the engine room of the team is when you think about like defensively what he does for us is like you have the opposition trying to build up play and all of a sudden you will see Partey in the final third and he's pushing up on these teams, pressing them high up the pitch. We saw it in certain games, he'll come press high up the pitch, win the ball right there. It's like that's certain things that other defensive mids won't do because they'll be really deep, waiting like in position to try and deal with transition or deal with things, but you have Partey run into the wide area, get the ball off teams in their half to get the ball off them and start another attack. And these are some of the things I'm saying, like in terms of his defensive ability, his ability to press high up the pitch is really helpful because the opposition can't get time to play. They can't get time to build up play. They can't get time to start their play because he's already in the final third, winning the ball off them and starting another attack. And then you've got his ability to win duels. It's like in the air, he's really good. Underground, he's really good. In the wide areas, he can win duels. If teams are trying to attack us in transition, he makes great recoveries. I never realized how fast it was. I saw two clips of him, one against United and then one against, I think it was Bournemouth, when they were transitioning. And you see how fast he really is. The thing is, the way he moves at times, yeah, you can think he's a bit like he's not as quick as it is. But when he gets into recovery situations and he has to track, get back and recover, then you see how fast it really is. And he's so fast the way he gets back and wins the ball quickly, immediately stops their attack. Just those great recovery runs. And then his positioning, just generally he's got great positioning. That's the reason why he wins all of these interceptions and stuff like that, simply because he's positioning. And that's just the defensive aspect of the game. And it's literally just 50% of his game. And why we're able to dominate in midfield. It's like the midfield is the engine room of the team. You know what I mean? And it's like in these areas is where teams are dominate. That's why you look at the likes of Vieira, the likes of Yaya Toure, the way Keane, the way they dominated games. It wasn't because they dominated games with something flashy. It was because they simply just stopped teams from playing. You need your midfield to play, unless you're just going to bypass the midfield completely and go straight into the attack. And even then, he drops into our box and he's able to win area duels and he's able to make clearances and blocks in our box anyways. So it's like if you're gonna go through that midfield, you're gonna have to go through him. And in the midfield, he's so dominant defensively, so dominant in possession as well. And it's like he's basically stops the opposition from playing and then helps us to play. And then you think about someone that his ability on the ball, just his ability to progress the ball with passing, carrying the ball. And then one thing I rate about him a lot, that are rated by him highly over other midfielders is this, or other defensive midfielders is this. If Partey receives the ball and there's no option to get the ball forward, and there's nobody that he can find in the final third or anything like that, what does he do? Immediately, what he will do is he'll hold on to the ball, maybe do like a fake shot or like a dribble, carry the ball, start to run directly with the ball, and then once he starts to carry the ball, you're gonna see passing lanes start to open up. People are gonna start opening up spaces. The defense is gonna start becoming disorganized. Then he plays a quick pass. It doesn't matter if it's a quick sideways pass or a quick pass in here or wherever the case may be. Just the fact that he carries the ball, disorganizes them, and creates space, and then he finds them, and that's something that's so key about Partey, and why he's why he's been so important for us. It's just because he stops our position and then he helps us to play at the same time. He's just a great player, man. He's just a great player. Probably one of the more elite, like one of the only elite player we have in our team, basically. In terms of world class players, probably him and Saka. Yeah, Partey is unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. I'll go over another thing that I say with Zinchenko, because Zinchenko is also really useful for us as well in our build-up play.